This historical Bitcoin pattern is playing out once again, and while we're right now creeping up against the resistance, we are right now exactly creating a new consolidation phase which is about to be breaking out anytime soon here. So on today's update video, I'm gonna be doing a deep dive in towards this pattern. I'm gonna talk about exactly what is playing out in this market right now. I will be talking about the Bitcoin CME gap, how the market is looking right now, the most important consolidation patterns, what we're looking at in terms of the M2 money supply, in terms of the news, and much more important charts and data points that are telling us something about what altcoins and the entire market is about to be doing here. A lot to discuss here, so don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So to kick off the video, I straight away want to be talking about the CME gap, and that is that over the course of this weekend we are once again creating another CME gap, and just like all the previous ones we created many times before, usually like 99% of the times, eventually those gaps are going to get filled up here. And since right now the CME gap is trading above us, it is of course going to be quite positive for the entire market. I mean, if we're looking at the liquidity heat map, we are seeing right now that the majority of the liquidity is also laying above us around at $111,000 level, and to be exact, we're going to be having about $120 million worth of short liquidations if we're going to be hitting that level. So that is obviously going to be quite insane if you would ask me here. Then also, if we're going to be looking at the heat map here on the bigger perspective, on the yearly perspective, you can see always whenever we create such big levels of liquidity above us, eventually we're going to be grabbing it. And yes, it is once again happening right now, so this is for sure a very bullish signal. And yes, as long as there's going to be a lot of liquidations laying above us, ultimately we're going to be going towards there. And also next week is going to be quite important, because next week we're going to have the next Federal Reserve rate hike decision. And yes, the consensus is clearly that we're just going to be seeing no interest rate hike or drop, and that we're just going to be sticking at the same rate here. And yeah, so far the consensus is that somewhere in September we're going to start to see the first rate cuts coming in from the Federal Reserve of 2025 here. So we still have to wait for that here, unless maybe something big is going to be changing in the markets. Then we potentially could be expecting more rate cuts. But for now on, at least, it is not going to be the case here. But looking clearly at Bitcoin right now here, we are creating one of the most historical patterns out there in the market, and that is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. We first of all create the left shoulder, then we create the head with a lower low, and now we're creating the right shoulder with once again a higher low here. So the Bitcoin chart is ultimately looking very bullish in my opinion. We're creating this exact pattern right now here, and of course the resistance is still laying around that $110,000 level, where we previously around got rejected from multiple times here. So the resistance to be breaking for Bitcoin is going to be the $110,000 level. As soon as we do clearly break above this level and flip this level into support, we are going to confirm the breakout of the head and shoulders pattern. And to give you an exact price target of this pattern which we're right now creating, it is going to be quite an insane one, because the price target is all the way up towards $160,000. Personally, I don't really think we're going to be hitting this price target, because my personal take profit target for this bull market is already going to be 140 towards $130,000. So that's laying a little bit lower here, but this is at least the price target, how you measure it according to technical analysis. But yeah, very interesting what we're currently creating in terms of a consolidation pattern. And yeah, if we do see the breakout, we could be expecting a big continuation towards the upside. And while we're creating this massive pattern right now on Bitcoin, and we're still waiting for the top side of resistance to get broken, and of course as soon as we break it, it's going to be very bullish, we're also creating many other consolidation phases right now here, especially on that 12-hour time frame, that daily time frame, with this downward sloping resistance line on the top side and this upper sloping support line on the lower side here. So yeah, we're creating a very interesting consolidation phase right now here, and whenever we are going to start to see the breakout outside either the upper sloping support line or the downward sloping resistance line, we are going to be seeing a major breakout towards either direction. So very much looking forward towards how this is going to be playing out here. And of course, I will be closely paying attention towards this level, and especially also on the lower side, this green box right here. And of course, ultimately on the top side, it is going to be the red box right here, because those are the two most important levels of resistance, just like you can also see on the head and shoulders pattern. As long as we're just not breaking above that big level of resistance on the top side, I am not expecting any fireworks whatsoever. I mean, in the meantime, we just remain to be trading in this consolidation range, which I also discussed many times on my previous videos. I mean, I also discussed this consolidation range a couple videos ago while we were still sitting on the top side of the range here. And yeah, this is just clearly the most important levels to be watching. And of course, the top side has been acting as major resistance. So this is the level we need to be breaking above of. And as long as we're not breaking above that level, I think we're just still gonna be trading in this range here. And of course, you see that Bitcoin always moves in these fast moves towards the upsides and then consolidation phases. And then, of course, once again, a fast move towards the upside. Or, of course, in the case of the bear market, you see a move down here. But in the last bull market, we had one straight leg towards the upside. And then we went in towards the bear market. But this bull market clearly has been more of these consolidation phases. And it looks to be that this consolidation phase is about to be ending. So we could be in for a major continuation from off this point onwards. So further on, we are still seeing that the M2 money supply is massively increasing. And yes, as long as we're seeing more and more money getting printed worldwide here, the consensus is ultimately that Bitcoin is going to be following that liquidity in the market. So super excited for that here. I mean, so far on every major expansion on the M2 money supply, Bitcoin has also seen like 90% increasements in valuation. And if something similar is going to be happening again here, we could be in for an absolutely banger of a push towards the upside, because that could potentially bring Bitcoin all the way up towards about $140,000 US. So yes, guys, if you are right now interested in trading the next move towards the upside, especially this head and shoulders pattern, guys, don't forget to check out BTTC in the link description of today's video, because if you right now sign up an account using the highest link in the description of today's video, guys, you can get an extra 10% deposit bonus on your initial deposit. So let's say you deposit $1,000, you get a free $100 US. And of course, let's say you deposit $100,000, you get an extra free $10,000 US. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the link description of today's video. It's definitely one of the best deposit bonuses out there in the market. BTCC has listed a lot of pairs here. They are very, very strong here. They've got great liquidity, great volume, and of course they're listing very quickly new pairs that are very interested in the market. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the link description of today's video, and make sure to check this 10% deposit bonus, but it's only valid for your first deposit. So yeah, some people, I saw them already, they did a second deposit, but then you don't get the 10% bonus. So make sure that your first deposit is straight away the biggest one, because otherwise you don't get the 10% bonus here. But further on, I want to be discussing some more charts on the market here, right? So right now we are in that last part of the cycle, and if we're going to compare also these previous cycles towards each other, you can currently clearly see here that always in this last like 2 to 3 months ahead of ourselves, the biggest gains have been realized. So at the end, it goes even more exponential. And yes, really, I mean, we are seeing right now that short-term supply is really selling off here, while long-term supply is still buying. So there's a very big shift ongoing right now here. And of course, the dollar index keeps falling further and further on, while Bitcoin is clearly stabilizing. So great things are right now happening in the background. And on the weekly time frame as well, you can see a very similar consolidation like 2020, just the major calm before the storm here. And talking about ETH here, ETH is also still in this major consolidation phase. Of course, ultimately, nothing has really happened so far here, but as soon as this breakout is going to be happening, as soon as we are going to be breaking above this $2,600 US level, we could be in for a massive flight towards the upside, all the way up to 4,100 to approximately $4,000 US. So it's going to be a major rally higher whenever the rally is going to get initiated. So I am personally betting very heavily on that here. But anyways, guys, this was it for me on today's update video. Like you know, if you've been watching the channel for quite a while here, I have been opening up big trades on ETH. That is where my full confidence is right now laying here. Ultimately, I do think Bitcoin is about to create another leg towards the upside, which is going to be dragging the entire altcoin market also along the way up here. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting. ETH flows are very strong if you're going to compare them towards Bitcoin flows here. So yeah, super excited for that here. But anyways, guys, this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and be kind to your dad because it's Father's Day. Peace out. Goodbye.